This area in Bristol is one of many areas now across the country where people are actually living inside vans, calling the curbside their home. There are about 600 people who are now living inside vans here in Bristol, and the numbers have got so big, the council's now taking legal action against them. But why, you might ask, are they living inside vans? Well, for some, it's a lifestyle choice, but for others, it's a symptom of a national housing shortage.
So could you start by telling us a bit about how long you've been living here?
So since like August 2025, just after Boomtown.
And before you moved here, where were you staying?
So I was on Muller Road. My trailer actually broke down after Boomtown. On the way back, the wheel arch blew off, and I was trying the service station for like a week. So by the time that I got back, somebody had actually moved into my spot on Muller Road, and I had really nowhere to go. I looked at a few other places, and I knew a few people up here, and I thought this was probably the safest place to go, like as being like someone like on their own, like yeah.
My name's Tony Gosling, and I moved to Bristol in the 1990s from London. And then quite soon, in 2002, I myself became homeless, and so I needed to use the auspices of BHAM. This is BHAM. They helped me find a squat.
One of the ways that we look to support people with their housing need is through what we call meanwhile sites. And these are areas of council-owned land that are earmarked for some other use in future, hence the name meanwhile site. In the meantime, we can use them as a place where people can park up their vehicles and they can live there with some access to basic facilities like clean water and waste. So vehicle dwellers pay a small license fee. It's kind of like a rent, so a weekly rent, as it were, to pay for their pitch, and that covers the cost of providing it. Basically, it covers the cost of things like providing the water supply and the waste facilities and things.
Where do you expect us to go? There's not enough pitches on meanwhile sites. There's already a waiting list. It's so hard to get onto them, and in fact they don't actually accept some people just because they don't like them. And I just feel like it's not an option for everyone as well. Some people can't afford a meanwhile site. Some people are living in trailers quite literally because they have nothing, no income, no nothing. And if it wasn't for living in a trailer, they would be on the street. And so I think the council have to understand that as well. Like
this most recent council, who should be really sticking up for poorer people, they are going hammer and tongs to clamp down on people living in vehicles. They've been evicting them from big traditional long-term sites, and they're now trying to charge them council tax for living on derelict land, which is almost unbelievable. They're doing social cleansing effectively, which is kicking poor people out of the city. They don't want poor people here. And we saw the horrifying situation in fish ponds in the last few weeks, where the police get involved. So people who are in a caravan may be vulnerable, whatever, they're trying to earn a living, trying to save some money. They're getting their caravans torched, and the police are saying this is a reason to move them. So the police are taking the side of the arsonists, the side of the criminals. There's been graffiti on vehicles, on caravans, etc., threatening to burn them down if they don't move. The police should be seeking out these people and prosecuting them for threatening to kill people.
Say for example with some of the caravan fires on the protected downs, they are saying that it's infighting between us lot because of drug dealing. No, that is not what's going on, and there are multiple witnesses of this happening. One guy, he came and he set fire. Some crazy guy, and yet the people on this group are saying that it's infighting between us, trying to make us look like we are the ones causing the damage. Why would we be setting fire to each other's trailers? And also just like the locals really don't like us being here. That could be quite jarring. You open your door and you've got like disgruntled faces, or people like I'll walk to the bus stop and I've got people looking at me and some people was like, oh, disgusting, disgraceful. It's like comments like this. Also had some people go past on the East Coast like, you pikey scum. It's just like the constant like hate sort of against us being here, when actually like the majority of us are doing nothing wrong.
I talk to Clifton residents quite a lot, actually, and I've talked to many of the people who protest, have been calling on the council to take action on it. We have stated that the situation with vehicles around the Downs can't continue. That's why we're taking the action that we are. The court hearing in April relates to vehicles on the Downs, so Clifton Down and Durham Down. And last year, because of the impact that we saw, particularly actually from vehicles parked up on the grass, we went to court to apply for an injunction to prevent people from parking. It gave us the powers to remove vehicles parked on the grass. That was pretty successful in its aims, so it sort of helped to preserve the Downs as a place where people can enjoy all sorts of activities and preserve the sensitive habitat there as well. But what we've seen since then is that some of the vehicles parked around some of the other roads around the Downs were having really an unacceptable impact. Effectively, we were seeing parts of the Downs used for sort of makeshift toilets. We couldn't allow that to continue.
Maybe if there was a portaloo, we would happily pay for that. Bin services, if there was like a big skip or bin or whatever, I'm sure people would put in like some money for to pay for that. Like how you get for the house, the recycling bins, etc. I'm sure that like people would be willing to pay towards these things if they were available, but they're not. And I think that should be an option that should be looked into really as well.
So what we're doing at the moment is we're continuing an enforcement process that we began last year with the group of vehicle dwellers on the Downs. So we're looking to get an injunction that would prevent people from parking up long term and living by the side of the road on those other roads. And we've got a court date next month.
It's extraordinary to see how you can have a court case which has actually got no defendants. It's just got the judge and it's got the council. And it was quite interesting to hear in court in March somebody giving testimony in the court saying, well, this is surreal. Where are the defendants? You're talking about hundreds of people potentially being made homeless here, and nobody has been involved in the case at all. The reason that the van dwellers have not been going to the case is very simple. It's because if they stand up, name themselves, which they have to do in court, then they are subject to costs. So this could mean they have to pay thousands of pounds of the council's bill. So of course they're not going to go into court. This happens all the time.
People need to be respectful of each other. They need to understand the difficult situation that people are living in, and that drives people to choose to move into a vehicle. When for many of those people, it's not going to be in their first choice. Let's face it. So yeah, really, just I think respect, care for each other, and understanding.
Actually talk to people, talk to your neighbours, rather than actually think, okay, maybe there's a reason. Maybe some people don't want to be in a trailer. Maybe this is their last hope. Maybe some people, in a trailer because this is how they feel safe, this is how they feel free, this is how they feel relaxed. They don't want to live in a house or house share. They've had bad experiences in houses. Maybe people are travellers. Every reason is valid, and I just think people are very, very quick to judge, and they just need to just be more accepting. We're not causing any harm for the most part, I think most of us anyways, because at the end of the day, you're never going to stop people from living on road or wanting to live on road, and I don't think you should, because it's been a way of life for years, and I think it's actually really criminal that they're trying to make that illegal, because people just want to be free, and people should be allowed to live on public land. I just wish that they would not try and criminalise us.